I read a piece done by Tucker Carlson that implicated a total whitewash of what happened on 9/11 '01. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've read this or not, but it's kind of interesting, and I don't know if it's true or not. They got some congressman on there who says he knows all about it, and he was punished for it. His family was punished for it, and Bush knew it, and the rest of the government. There was a lot of uh, talk about the report being phony. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I've been following that since the beginning of it. And the biggest
What
question,
do
of
you
course,
think?
the easiest thing to do is look into World Trade Center building number 7, which
Yes.
crashed later in the afternoon, was
Yeah.
not hit by any airplanes, and no steel frame building had ever collapsed due to fire.
Yeah.
And then it does this implosion into its own footprint,
Yeah.
just like any detonated, timed explosion. But it's more than that. Then think about this. Of course, the Bush family is involved in oil. I mean, George H.W. Bush's company was Zapata Offshore, the world's largest offshore drilling company in those days. Who was allowed to leave the country in the days following 9/11 when nobody else was allowed to fly? Lots and lots of members of the Saudi royal family, right? And we're supposed to pretend that that's unrelated. But I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. People heard, particularly with regard to World Trade Center number 7 explosions. That was never reported. The manner of its collapse. But a state senator from Oklahoma, who's a friend of mine, was on the commission that investigated the Murrah building explosion. And I've got an autographed copy of his book. But once again, that was another complete cover-up, another situation where physically the alleged bomb in that van that they set off could not have generated enough energy to have vaporized the support columns for the building in the way they were vaporized.
Are you talking about? Are you still back at 9/11?
No, now I've gone back to the Murrah building explosion, Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. Okay.
This is all my continuing dialogue or monologue, I guess, that everything the government tells you about all these events is a contrived lie. And I'll go right up to the.
Okay, but why are they doing that? Who are they hiding? Who are they protecting?
Well, I think they're protecting a shadow government. I think that let me do it this way. I'm gonna piss off all my erstwhile supporters. Look.
Okay, guys, listen now. Come on. You want a reason to hate him?
Yeah.
Go for it. Come on.
Yeah. What we have right now is like a student play pretending to be a government. We've got what's his name? Sean Duffy as head of NASA, right? A former reality show actor who is now running NASA. And as Elon Musk said a couple of days ago, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to have a guy with a 2-digit IQ running NASA, right? But and then we've got Pete Hegseth.
Well, there go my weekend plans. I got to tell you.
Yeah, I like all these people, right? I know them all. I've been on their shows. I've met them personally, and outside of the context. But look how many of the people in our current government are former Fox talking heads or Newsmax talking heads, or people whose major qualification is, or as somebody told me the other day, the problem with the current Justice Department is that it's filled with a bunch of 20-something sons of big contributors. And we have it's like a stage play where all these people are performing the roles of government officials, and the real government is somewhere else, because you couldn't really run the world.
Okay, so
tell
me specifically which ones are the good ones and which ones aren't. Bondi, is she okay?
I don't know enough about her to know. I know that Donald Trump is on the right track. I know that he's probably subject from time to time to bad advice and having questionable people around him.
Do you think he's legitimate?
I think he's legitimate. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a big compliment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that here's my gut analysis in all this. Now, of course, I've been wrong more often than I've been right, maybe, but I think Trump believes that he can control everything. That he's like Henry Ford or the original Adolphus Bush. That he can run the entire company himself without having to have any really meaningful assistance. So what he needs to have is followers that will do as instructed, and that he's going to. That's why you've got a guy who was a Fox contributor who's now the Secretary of War. You got a
Yeah.
guy who was a Fox contributor who's now the head of the Department of Transportation and NASA, the Space Force. Um, uh, because I think Trump thinks that these folks are necessary to implement Trump's ideas, and he doesn't need to have any independent thinkers out there. He just has to have people that will do what Trump wants them to do. And think back to your first year
You
political.
think that he doesn't listen to them about
I think
advice?
he listens to them, but and then takes their advice when he agrees with it.
Okay,
Somebody,
well, that's about what you do, isn't it?
yeah, somebody asked Pete Hegseth the other day if he ever got shouted at, and I think his response was, "We're only in the Oval Office." And
Okay.
so, but I mean, but that. Think back to your first year political science classes, right? What we've always talked about as the best form of government is a benevolent dictator. Now, the problem with dictators is you have to hope they're benevolent.
Yeah.
But I think Trump sees himself as a captain of a ship that needs to be tightly controlled, and that is probably the case. But
Well,
once again, he can't know all things about everything. He
shouldn't
needs to have
that be the,
competent people.
the goal of every single president during his terms, that he is the captain of the ship, which he is. That's
Well,
exactly